Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out some PlayStation 4 games being played over PlayStation Vita Remote Play. Today we're taking a look at Wolfenstein The Old Blood. This literally came out like an hour and 10 minutes ago. I've only been playing it for like 10 minutes. So there is no spoilers, no nothing. The only reason I'm doing this video so quickly is because it is pretty much exactly the same as Wolfenstein The New Order's remote play control scheme, so I didn't really need to spend much time familiarizing myself with it because this is actually the very first encounter where you actually have to shoot people. So we'll take a look at the control layout right quick. So you might not be noticing that much of a problem, or at least for the DualShock 4 there's not that much of a problem. Unfortunately, the problem comes when I tap the rear touchpad and reveal that they're working off these. So they put in the absolute minimum effort they could in building this control scheme by mapping L2 and R2 to fire, so at least you don't have to fire using the rear touchpad. But at the same time, they did basically nothing else. You do have a couple of extra control schemes here, but some of them are just kind of ridiculous. It's just a couple of minor tweaks, like moving the analog sticks in different directions, and this one here is just a little weird because mapping up to the top of the D-pad, that's pretty much unusable. But yeah, it's a very strange set of controls that you've got. You've also got look sensitivity, invert look, and just nothing that would be really useful for a PlayStation Vita player. So let's just go and actually do this combat. So, Wolfenstein The New Order is a first-person shooter, or The Old Blood, I should say. I keep confusing the New Order and The Old Blood. So, it's a first-person shooter, so you have a bunch of things you're going to want access to at any one time. That includes the melee, which is on the back. That includes the sprint, which is also on the back. That also includes a lean button that they've added on this for some reason. That you use by holding that part of the rear touchscreen and then doing whatever the hell else you need to, and it's really uncomfortable and quite annoying. So leaning is pretty much unusable on the PlayStation Vita. Maybe if you had one of those grips, like those L2 R2 grips that they've just started making and releasing across the world, though that would actually help in this game a fair bit, but I'm actually more concerned about I'm actually more concerned about the Vita just by itself as the vanilla remote play experience. And the vanilla remote play experience has very imprecise access to has very imprecise access to melee and grenades by default. You can change that, and leaning and sprinting and changing your weapons. You actually have to hold your finger to that in order to change your weapons. Sure, the modified control schemes are actually alright in terms of accessing some stuff, but really, nothing beats the default control scheme. It's just a lot easier to play this game on. It's actually a lot easier just to play this game overall on a PlayStation 4 controller. If you had one of those L2R2 grips, it might be a bit better because then you could use it for these two buttons, and at least it would make some sort of sense, maybe if you swap the control scheme. But they could have done so much more to make this more palatable on a PlayStation Vita controller. Like, they could have remapped the throw grenade button and the throwing knife button or melee attack to the bottom left and bottom right corners of the touchscreen so that you wouldn't have to worry about it as much, like when you're trying to do it at the same time as killing a bunch of buggers. Or should I say Nazis. It's really quite unfortunate that they didn't put any effort into it. Anything would have been better than this. Almost anything would have been better than the extremely low amount of effort that they put in. It does work. It's just you're not going to do as well as you would if you were on a DualShock 4. That's just pretty much the in and out of the whole thing. Double pistols. Sweet. I can't aim. Just waiting for them to show their ugly faces again. There we go. Oh god, I blew his leg right off. So you can play it up to a point. It's just... It's relatively uncomfortable to do everything you need to do, and that's just a bit disappointing, really, because being able to play this on the Vita even remotely competently would be great, but...
We still have a chance. Kessler knows something.
So it would be nice if it actually worked properly, but unfortunately it doesn't, and that really is just a pain in the ass, isn't it? There is touching on the touchscreen as well, but that just brings up this, and yeah. There's nothing being done here that's really worth too much, unfortunately, so... Yeah, Wolfenstein the Old Blood, overall, not that great. Better to play it on a DualShock 4 than on the PlayStation Vita. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.